Welcome to the FaerySpeak. I'm Reverend John O'Toole, and I hope you've been watching my series. Check back in other programs for the FaerySpeak in earlier episodes. So here we are. I am a channel, and I channel mostly fairy energy, although sometimes I'll do some Native American. You just never know. It kind of all intermixes. It's not all the same to me, but there's often both. So what I'm essentially doing is that I'm doing a reading for you. Now that sounds kind of far-fetched because I'm sitting here, up here in the Berkshires. I might call myself on Fairy Mountain, and you're somewhere else in the future. I'm setting an intention that I'm going to do a reading for both you and myself. I would like to say I'm not part of this, but I'm just as much a part of this as you are. Now, those in the past have seen a progression on the readings. And I have a cat here that's very curious about what we're doing. Go figure. Either that or she wants to be part of the video. One or the other. So anywho, I set an intention to do a fairy reading for you, and I can't help it to reflect back on me. It's a co-process. So I'd like to begin, but first I want to do is introduce you to my friend Harry. Now Harry Feet is his full name, but we usually just call him Harry. Harry meaning hairy feet, not the other Harry. And he is a gnome. He's in physical form only if you can see him. Can you see him? Well, if you see me walking around the Big Y, or other places in Lee, or other places in the Berkshires, you might see my friend Harry. He might be riding on the roof of my car or just playing around in the woods. But he's around. He's about 4 feet tall, has hair on most of his body, but he really has hairy feet. And he likes to ride on the roof of my car. It's a lot more cozy than sitting down inside the car. So, I like to introduce Harry every time we do a show, and most of you already know that, those of you that watch my show on a regular basis. So I basically have these cards. They're Brian Fraud's Fairy Oracle cards. And you could buy your own cards, just like these. You could follow along, or you could do your own reading. But right now we have a cat here who has just entered our realm. And she is not welcome. You're not welcome here. No, you're not. See, when I want to shoot a video of you, where are you? Yeah, you're nowhere to be found. So, red moose. All right. So I have these cards. They're Brian Fraud's Fairy Oracle cards, and I've had them for quite some time. I started off with another cards, but I have since found connection to these cards. So, and I would suggest that if you're looking for tarot cards, that you don't order them online. I would suggest going to a bookstore like Crystal Essence or some of the many bookstores that there are in the Berkshires or near wherever it is that you are living, and, you know, get a feel for them. Because it's a very personal connection with your tarot cards. Yeah, they print them up by the thousands, but it's still a personal connection. So what we're going to do is that I'm going to shuffle these cards a few more times, every which way. So I'm going to just flip over the deck. And we are going to draw how many cards today? Last time it was 5. How many? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to spread the cards out. While you decide on how many cards, last time it was 5, but I'm hearing 6 this week. So we are going to pull 6 cards. Okay, so we're going to draw 6 cards. Please keep track of my orientation in case I mess up, and then you can let me know. Somehow, maybe you'll call me on the phone. So we're going to pull out 6 cards, and we're going to see how it goes. You're going to tell me when to stop. And I'm going to be able to tell when you want me to stop because I could feel a change in the energy. Tell me when to stop. And I'm going to be able to tell when you want me to stop because I could feel a change in the energy. Well, the first one's this card right here. I wanted to see what it was. One of the gate cards. Number 2. Fairies of the future. Well, isn't that interesting? Considering we're doing a reading of the future. It's a popular side over here. Sylvanus. We are actually filming at nighttime up here because it's been so hot that it's a little difficult to film when it's 90. So we're hoping that it'll get cooler doing this at night. Around here, this is a popular side today. Alright, well there's 6 cards right there. So, I really notice what time it was when we started. I am going to read these cards, and as we go, we will see how they feel. So let's start with we could start with the first card we pulled, but I think today we're going to start with the last card we pulled. Why? I don't know. But for some reason, someone's telling me to do it that way. Who knows why? Number 28 Penelope, the Dream Weaver. Now this is a very pretty card indeed, wouldn't you say? Inspiration, magical dreams, and visions. Inspiration, magical dreams, and visions. But this card was upside down, like so. The creative expression is blocked. You may be working too hard at it. It's almost the way I feel right now because I'm having to do a reading and it's very warm and it's harder to do readings in this weather than otherwise. It's kind of interesting little thing. This is number 64. Gotcha. Sudden shock, unexpected events, and rude awakenings. But this one was also upside down. Stagnation rules until you sacrifice something you cling to. Well, then that explains the first card, doesn't it? Stagnation rules until you sacrifice something you cling to. Something that you're refusing to give up. We put these over here. Is that better? A little better. Okay. I was watching a video of someone building a computer and the person working with them said, "Stop looking at what the screen is doing, just do the work." He kept looking over to see where the camera's looking. Which is what I keep doing. I keep looking up there like it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter really. How it is how it is. Next card, number 41. Abe the Retriever. Number 41. In case you're keeping track at home. Abe the Retriever. Office of Unclaimed Property. Hopes and wishes and loyalty. Unclaimed property. Hopes and wishes. Well, that's interesting, don't you think? Very interesting indeed. Sylvanus, number 34. Truth cutting through deception and clarity. Well, that's interesting. Except this word was in reverse. They are creating cracks in your ideas to let the light through, to let the light of truth shine in. Well, that's interesting. That's very much like what we're talking about. It's always kind of interesting how the cards all kind of are kind of related along the same subject. It's very interesting indeed sometimes about how the cards end up. Okay. Next card, Fairies of the Future. That was like that, right? Okay, Fairies of the Future. Number 33. Number 33, Fairies of the Future. Be here now, guidance and moving forward. Be here now. I mean, stay in the present and move forward. Don't keep poking around in the past. You can learn from the past, but you can't change the past. You can only change the future. You can't change the now, because the now is now the past. It's like that Spaceballs movie. Fast forwarding in the movie. Find out. You have to watch it. The Guardian of the Gate. Number 3. The Guardian of the Gate. Number 3. Very pretty card. The Guardian of the Gate. Passages for a new life, openings, and gatekeeping. The Guardian at the Gate. Passages to new life, openings, and gatekeeping. Well, isn't that curious how often this card is upside down? So it's really kind of cool that the card is vertical. It really kind of shows a progression in the work that both you guys are doing and also me. So let's maybe do 3 more cards and see how we do. Hey, let's do this. Hey, you want to do something different? We're going to do something different. I'm going to pull the card and then read it. I pull a card, then read it, and pull a card, then read it. What do you think? This sounds like a cool idea. What can I say? I'm a little punchy. It's midnight. It's after midnight. Okay, give me a hand here. Let's help me pick a card. Guys, you always want to pick a card from the same side. How about this one? Number 61. Imaginary fears, unreal hazards, realistic cautions. But this card was in reverse. Distinguish between imaginary and real dangers. Maybe there is a monster in the closet. Well, that's kind of interesting. This is about keeping yourself grounded, aware of what's going on around you at all times. At all times. At the grocery store, in church, in school, at home. You like to think that there's some place that's safe, but you could be at home and accidentally burn something at the stove because you fell asleep taking a nap and you put something in the oven. This stuff happens. So be aware of what happens all around you. A lot of things are good, crazy things have been going on in the world. You think you're safe in church. You think you're safe at school. You think you're safe here. You're there. But be aware of what's going on around you at all times. You just never know. And that makes it very difficult if you wish to do some meditation or something like that you might be totally out of it. But you can meditate and still be aware of your surroundings. At least most of us. I usually just clock out and I wake up when it's over. But I usually wake up if there's something going on. So set an intention that your higher self is going to wake you up. Something if you should have attention. Next one. Yeah, there you go. The Sylph. 45. Pretty card. Taking the Sylph. Acute intelligence, quickened mental synthesis, and discernment. Well, this one wasn't upside down this time, so acute intelligence, quickness, mental synthesis, and discernment, which is just following what we're talking about. Keeping your wits about you, paying attention. Last card. Well, it has to be the last card because we can't be doing this reading all night. We only have 28 minutes. Number 36. Spirit Dancer. Another very pretty card. Self-expression, freedom, and exploration. Well, isn't that cool? Self-expression, freedom, and exploration. So you can have your wherewithal and keep yourself track and safe and still be able to have fun. And that's what it's all about, is having fun. Are you having fun? Lots of ways to having fun. Now, sometimes things aren't all that fun. Maybe going to the dentist isn't all that fun. Although you can crack some jokes when someone's got 4 fingers in your mouth. Oddly enough, they seem to understand what you're saying. I couldn't understand it, but they must have a special class that they have to listen to people with their fingers in their mouth, and then they can understand the language. It's like understanding baby talk. Kind of the same thing, except it's a different language. It should be something that you can check off on a form. What would you call it? Finger speaking, or hand and mouth talk? I don't know. But anywho, that's the end of our show. I hope you've enjoyed it. This has been a little interesting. It's been a little rough around the gills. A little rough around the gills on this one, but I think we had fun. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you learned something, and I hope you have some feelings about where we're going with this. If you have any suggestions, feel free to call CTSB and let them know whether you like my show or not. I guess some people may not like the show, but they probably wouldn't have made it this far if they didn't. Until next time, the fairy speaks for you.